a representative of the UK arriving shortly. Please secure the area.
Topic 1. Digitalization of the global economy. Currently, we are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution. The rise of the internet has caused a vast digitalized economy that is worth roughly $11.5 trillion. But to put that amount of money in perspective, if spent, we could buy everybody in Britain a brand new Bentley. However, not everybody has access to this digitalized economy, which is only furthering the wealth divide. And the e-commerce monopolies are taking over brick and mortar companies as well. In order to solve both of these downsides to the digitalized economy, we believe that we must have a 1% sales tax on all e-commerce activities, and also work with an NGO known as OneWeb to launch satellites into space, giving more people internet. By having this 1% sales tax, we believe that we can help online e-commerce continue to flourish, while also making sure that brick and mortar companies can successfully compete and stay in business. In addition, the $30 billion gathered from this 1% sales tax can go directly into building cell phone towers in developing areas. Verizon has worked in over 100 countries, and by utilizing them to build these cell phone towers, we can ensure that more people have access to internet. Moving on, we would like to work with the NGO known as OneWeb. OneWeb is launching satellites into space that can give people internet, and has already had much success. Just in 2019, they launched 2 rockets with both successfully tested for internet, and also raised $1.4 billion through their fundraising. Overall, by working with OneWeb to launch satellites, and by successfully implementing a 1% tax, we, the country of Britain, believe that we can successfully end the bad side of the digitalized economy. Thank you. Topic 2. Regulation of trade wars. There are no winners in a trade war. As seen time and time again, for example, in the 1965 chicken war between the US and Germany, trade wars do not protect the industries that they are intended to protect, and instead spew economic disaster for all nations involved. As a more recent example, between the Chinese and US trade war, the US has lost roughly $601 billion due to Chinese tariffs. In order to stop and eliminate these trade wars, we, the country of the UK, believe that the exact opposite must be done, which is to have trade agreements, free trade agreements. These free trade agreements would specifically go after the issues to why there are tariffs and to why there are trade wars. First, as seen in the USMCA trade agreement, we would like to set a standardized minimum wage between all countries involved in this free trade agreement. This minimum wage would ensure that all countries have similar labor rates, and would also assist with developing countries by making sure that worker conditions are ideal. Moving on, we'd also like to make sure that the environment is in check by having all countries in this free trade agreement have similar environmental policy. In order to implement this, we would like to have a financial penalty for countries that have a lower environmental performance index, lower than 45. These financial penalties would be managed by a third party, the World Trade Organization. Overall, by having financial penalties for countries that do not adhere to environmental procedure, and by having a standardized minimum wage within a free trade agreement to ensure that countries have similar labor rates, we, the country of the UK, can eliminate trade wars. Thank you.